Ah, okay.
Um,
I am so sorry that I am late. Uh, my husband was like, "Hey, come here. Come here. Look at this. I need you to look at this." And then I was like, "Okay, let me look at this." And then I get the text from Linda. I looked down on my phone and I was like,
that's okay.
it was a "Omo, otoke" sort of moment. Ah, fun conversation sidebar. My car stopped working on me, and so now we have to buy a new car, and that's what he had me looking at was cars. So, eh. All right. Let's oh yeah, the vocabulary just in general today. So that next class we can look at your resume. Let
Uh,
me
I
You already did it?
uh, I'll lead it. I'll lead it.
Oh yeah? Ah. Oh, I see. Let's see chat. Ah, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So for age, for example, right? It would go uh you don't have to put name as your name. So like the other one did. You could either put it in a box or not, or you know what? Let me open up Word document. This is easier if I open up a Word document. Let's do blank layout, margins narrow. Let's do this instead. 1 second. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So, for example, we would go and center it and maybe go down a couple. If you wanted narrow margins, which is like this, you can, but you can also do just standard normal margins are 1 inch in, right? So let's just work with normal margins. So you would put your name and it would be, ah, um, if you prefer to do it in the syllable blocks, you can do it like this, right? But there's
Yes.
normally for American names, what English names, anyways. And most European origin names do not put a comma. Where you would do that is if you wrote it like this. If you put your last name or like your sir or your family name, your surname or family name, then it would go last name, comma, then first name, right? So you can do that, but it's better to just like this. And let's change our font to, instead of Roboto Slab, let's do, I'm just going to stick with Line Seed. We'll choose Line Seed. And let me make the font bigger so that it's easier to read. Let's
Uh,
go up.
the the screen is blurry.
Oh, is it? Ah, okay. How about now?
Oh, that's okay.
Better? Okay.
Better.
Okay. So it would be your name. And then underneath of that, because your name would be larger than everything else. So let's say if I'm using 24 for everything else, I'm going to use 36 just to show you the size difference. Although everything should be for body text or normal text, 11-point font or 12-point
Yeah.
font. Yes, 11 or 12-point font for the size. For your name, typically 16.
60.
Yeah, 16 to 24. Never bigger than 24, but never smaller than 16. So between those two. It depends on what font you use. Some fonts are naturally smaller than others. So it just really depends on how it looks. All right. So
Name.
yeah,
16 point.
yeah, for your name,
Um,
it will
uh,
be 16 to 24, depending on
okay.
what font you use, what style of letters. All right. If you think it looks more impressive at 24, like
Mm,
bigger, you can, but I would not go above 24. So just keep it between those two sizes. And then, yeah, this font or this text size down here would normally be 11 or 12. Okay. As far as spacing goes, let's see. For line spacing, I like to do 1 point or 1.5, but never bigger than that. You don't want too much spacing between the lines. Okay. Yeah. Standard is just 1. Okay. Then you would put, like the other one had it, your email. Oops.
mm,
Email. Then you can come over and put a space, or you can put a line, like some people do. Let's see, where did that line go? It is on a different place on my keyboard. Where are you, line? Vertical line. Ah, here. All right, so they'll put a line between it,
mm,
or they'll leave like a 10 space gap between them, right? So I could either do email and then I go spacebar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's
mm,
enough space between them, right? 10 spaces. Or you can do 4 and then a line. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4,
mm.
vertical line, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Those are both very professional and clean looking.
Mm,
All right. So for our purpose here, I'm going to do 4 vertical line 4. So email, and then you would have your phone number. And since it is a cell,
mm,
right, you can either put C for cell or you can say M for mobile. It's up to you. And then, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 blah. But
mm,
cell phone is going to be area code. And
mm,
then the first 3 digits are in parentheses, right? I'll just do mine. I don't care. 346 space 303 dash, like so. That's how
mm,
they prefer it to look on American resumes instead of just one solid block of phone number, instead of one solid
oh,
line. Yeah. Okay. Then, da, da, da. Then of course we had social media, right? Ah, media.
mm, mm,
So that's your email, all those other things like that. Then on the line below it, that's where I personally like to put my address. Okay. Because an address is typically longer, and to the eye, visually, it's more pleasing when things look even, right? So I have all of my, here's how you can contact me right away to talk to me, right? Here is where you send things. So this line and then go one down. Then you're normally going to skip two down, right? Or even three. So you're not going to be starting here. You'll leave a space or even two spaces. And then you start putting in your information. So here, you have your college. That would fall under education. So would the date of admission and graduation, right? For that, though, I would say I would do college and then oh, then space, and then number format. Okay. So March 03 for, for 2019, space, dash, space, and then when you graduated. So 02, 13, 2023. Right? Like so, except it's so big right now, but it would, here, let me make it smaller. It should go side by side. Like when you attended should go right beside it if you have the space for it. So if you are doing your format like bio, and then your format is, then you say skills, then you say work experience, blah blah blah. Then you would come down and it would be education, right? If you're doing it in this way, instead of the side by side, like the example we saw the other day was, then you would want them all on the same line. If not, if you have it side by side, then yes, this needs to go directly under. And then you would move on to the next thing. And it would be so-and-so high school, if it was a specific high school like you went to, for like a specialty one, then you would put, that there. But then you would also put any certificates or awards that you have, right? Like if you had, let's say, let me just back that up so you can see what I'm typing. Okay. For example, for this one, if you have awards, like let's just say high school, right? XYZ, whatever high school you went to, right? For such and such years. And then you would put like a little bullet point or something, or a dash if you wanted to, as a bullet point. And you could say National Honor Society, C, and then whatever page it falls on. See second page. Or if you don't want to say see second page, you could say page, you could say see attached. And they would go to the following pages where you could have things like if you had certification for stuff, if you had like your diplomas, things like that, if they want stuff like it, you can put those as attachments to the back of your resume. So you would just say see attachments or see attached. So it would either be attached or attachments. You can choose which word you use if you want them to go look at something you have attached to the back of your resume. Okay. It's like, for example, here, if you got some sort of outstanding thing, or if you graduated, you know, top honors, you would put that there too.
Mm.
And then it's like see attachments. And you could you could explain it in further detail on a later page if they wanted to go look at it. Right? The positive. Oh, I like that. Okay. Oh, and yes, here at where you're listing out this right under the dates that you do, that's where you would put your major, by the way, and what degree you got. Uh, majored in, majored in performing arts with graduated with Bachelor of Korean Music.
Mm.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it would go majored in XYZ. I just like to put XYZ as my example. Majored in XYZ with a bachelor's in Korean music. Right? That's typically how they list it out for Americans. So instead of saying major, this degree, this, right? Majored in blah blah with a bachelor in this. So I was
National Honor Social
oh, National Honor
Mm,
Society. That's like a thing
Society
that
in
oh, so in high school, there's here in America, anyways, there are
mm,
different awards,
experience.
experiences, and awards that you can get. Some clubs are prestigious. So if you, let's say my son, for example, is 14 now, but when he graduates from high school, he will have 4 different endorsements. You only need one to graduate from high school, and it is attached to your high school diploma. But he will have 4. So I would put graduated with, such and such year with 4 endorsements. And then I would bullet point the endorsements. And then if he had any certifications, I would say various certifications, like graduated with 4 endorsements and also various certifications, see attached. So then they could go look at
Mm,
his various certifications. Like if like he's going to get certified in AutoCAD and some other things because he's doing architecture and he's already starting some college classes in high school for
mm,
architecture. So he would get certificates for those or sort of merit um, paperwork and stuff. So then you could show that as, hey, I got this. Hey, I got this. Right?
mm,
Um, under skills or uh work experience, under there's another that is
mm,
called this. Other relevant experience. What that means is that things that give you work experience or stuff that would work for your job that you did not get in an employment situation. Volunteer work, stuff you did during school, things you do in your free time that are relevant experience, even though they did not happen in a job environment. Okay. And that would go underneath of your work experience. Right. So, and it's also a nice way to sandwich your skills and your work experience because under other relevant experience, you're also listing out things that you did. So they're not skills and talents, but they're things that make you look good to the employer, right? So your skills make you look good, and then you're putting in your work experience, that's serious information, and then you're following it up with other relevant experience. Look how else I'm good. Right? Yeah. Let's see the positive. I'm the kind of person who makes people around me happy. Right? They're going to want you to elaborate on that a little because they're going to think to themselves, well, how do you make people happy? What do you do to make them happy? You can't just tell me that you make people happy. How does this apply to the job? Right? So they're going to be curious about in what ways do you make people happy? So I would just add another sentence to that, or I would expand the sentence that you have with like maybe one or two examples of how you make people happy. Right? But it's good that you put in here acknowledgement or that you realize that that's an important skill to have as a cabin crew member. And it is, because they should be able to make the customers and passengers very, very happy. I like that, my ability to spread happiness. Spreading the happiness is a nice way to put it, right? Because then you're giving it to everyone. So I like that a lot. And a great journey. Journey is a nice use of word over trip, right? Trip just sounds like a boring chore, but a journey or an adventure, those sound more exciting. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that so far is pretty good. You would just take this information and you would plug it into this sort of format. Or if you're not doing a list format where one is right under the other, you would put them side by side. How you would do that is like this. All right. So you would insert a table. You can do this in Google Documents also. Word is not the only place that you can do this, but you insert a table and you want it only 2 columns wide because you don't want more than 3. You don't want more than 2 columns of information. 3 columns, that's a little too much for people to be looking at. So just 2 columns, and then think to yourself, how many different sections am I going to put here? Let's do 5 for right now. This is what it looks like when it starts. Okay. As you fill it in, the box will get bigger, right? It auto fits whatever you put into it. Okay. You can also combine cells if you want to. See? And now I can make this section longer over here. If you want to leave a gap between them, this is where I would say you can do 3 columns, but do not put any information in this center column and make it a little narrow because it's only there to be a separation between the two, right? So we're not going to write in this at all. As a matter of fact, you could take all of these and just merge them. Now, once we're done filling in all of this information with whatever we want to put into our different sections, right? And you would have a header. So it would say education, and then you would come down and then you start the bullet points. Like this. You would say, yay. And then it auto puts another one like, you know, wow. Or, whatever, right? For the header, for the title, centered, okay? But for these, you want them to be left, okay? So titles and general information like this, centered, listing things, left-hand side, okay? And then so on and so forth. After you're all done creating your information, putting it in, making it look nice the way you like it to, if you want to highlight certain areas, you can, if you're willing to print that out. Like say, for example, if I just wanted to fill in this hole. Well, let me fill in the hole. Nope. Okay. Mm. Okay. For example, if I wanted to highlight, oh, here's, my skills. I can fill, oh no, where's my, nope, I guess not. Wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. It would be under table design, shading, and then I can fill it with whatever color I want to. You don't have to do that. Some people do for a little fun pop. Other people don't. Uh, Black and white is your best sort of thing. If you want to add color, I would say add it in small ways, like maybe up here at your name, if you surrounded it in a border, right? Stuff like that. For things like that, you would say insert illustrations, shapes, and then you could put like, oh, here's a box. And then I'm going to put it behind the text. Okay. And then voila. And then there you are. And those are ways that you can make it pop and look interesting. Right? Like that one example that we looked at the other day, she had hers in a box, but she didn't do a bright color. She did, see, shape format. She filled it with a gray because she kept everything grayscale because it's easier to print out that way if everything is grayscale. Okay. And you can do the same for this. If you wanted to put a box around them, you can. Like if you left your name normal with no box, but then you decided to put box over here. Like let's say, for example, if I go do, 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 like so. There's just different ways that you can do it. However, the cleanest way for this table is once you're all done with it, select the whole thing and no border. And then looks much cleaner. Yeah. Okay.
What program do you use?
This is Microsoft Word, but you can
Word.
also use Google Documents,
Okay.
and that's free online. It also lets you insert things like tables and stuff like this. So, I use Microsoft Word because I use it for business, but for everyday stuff, Google Documents is just fine. Lots of people use it. Let me see if I can pull up Google Docs. 1 second. So I can show you that too. Let's see. Let me turn on. One second. Okay. So for this, you would go to your Google account. This is my business one. And you would say, I want to create a new doc. Blank document. And then see, here it is. Okay. And then for that, you would put in, the stuff like name. That, of course, we center. Oh, hold on. Wait. No. Heading. Why can't I center that? Wait. Oh, maybe it's because I don't have it large enough. Yeah. Let me just share the screen with you. It's because I don't have it large enough. 1 second. Here we go. Yeah, I didn't have it. I didn't have it large enough. That's why. Some of the stuff won't pop up if you don't have it, the window fully expanded. Okay, so for this, then I would center it, of course. And then I have info, info, info. That's all of our info. All right. Then we go down. And then I would insert table. Okay. Same as the other way that we did it. 2 times 5. Okay. And then you would select the entire table and you would say no border. Table options. No, thank you. I want to center it on the page. I also do not want. No. Okay, I'll have to look this up. I'm probably gonna have to ask my son because he uses it all the time. There's a way to remove the border on these tables. I can't remember what it is right now. He knows though. Oh, let's see. Table properties, options. No. I'll figure. Oh, wait. Border. No. Oh, okay. That's how they're doing it. No border. Border width, 0. Okay. All right. That's how they're doing it. 0 borders. So I can still click inside of the cell, right? But I have no borders on them now. Mm, mm, mm. No, I want. Uh, okay. Anyways, make sure you fill out all your information before you remove the borders. But that's essentially how to put it in there, and you can move it wherever you want to. Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, you just, again, using the same formatting as we used over on the Microsoft Word, where the title is centered, the other information is left side. Okay. All right. Vocabulary. Mm, 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 mm,
Why
mm.
need to put in a picture, a photo?
That's a good question. And if you were
Mm.
going to do that, I would do it like this. 1 second. Leave yourself a space here at the top. Say insert and then photo. And you can do the same with Google Documents. Although I think they don't give you as many options to change the shape. So let's say from this device. Let me find one. Hold on. Um, 1 second. I will just find something fun to put there. Or you know what? I will use this one. Ah, our picture is so big. Now we'll make
Mm.
it smaller. Oops, I'm upside down. Ah, for the love of beans. It rotated on me. No, no, no.
It's like
Okay.
game character. Mm.
Yeah, it is. And then you can put a border on it if you want to. Like, I want to make it round. Okay. If I want to make it round, or if I want to have a little border on it, I can make it square. I can make it whatever I want to. Um, let's just go. I like this one. This one's fine. Okay. And then I would probably, yep. Oh no. Let me undo that. Okay. If you make it a different shape uh, and it does end up doing that weird thing to you. Let's just say, for example, I come back and I want to make it a circle, but it has that weird uh, shadow underneath of it. What you can do is put this behind text, and then you just make sure that you come down one or, something of that nature. You'll put the spacing there, right? If I don't want the space to be super large here, all I would do is make my font so much smaller. See? It brings the name up closer.
Mm.
Circular photos are much more aesthetically inviting than square photos are, right? Unless you had something where it was a wider photo, like if it's rectangular and it's something along the lines of like with a cool, or I don't know, something that then involves horizontal arm sort of placement or something that's, near you, then you can do a banner style photo because those are fun and they stand out. But circular is better than square for something that takes up, standard spot. Okay. I would definitely say yes to photos. right? Because then they can see you as well, right? A lot of people like to put a face to a name. Hmm. Yeah. And if you wanted to even expand on that, let's say, see this thing that we had here, our little box. Say if I wanted to do that, um, I'm gonna do this to even give it some visual sort of pop. Come on, let me. We could even, if we wanted to. Now, I like to do this. I like to either do the rule of thirds or like half, right? Look how cool that looks.
Mm.
You know, anything that is visually pleasing is instantly going to grab their attention, right? There's just different ways to make yourself stand out. So, you know, you can even thicken the border if you want to. You can get rid of the border on this shape to make it more clean. So, border, no outline. Ta-da. No border is better, I
Mhm.
think. It's a clean, modern look. I would definitely say if you have no border for the squares, if you're doing stuff like that, definitely put a border, even if it's just a thin one, around your photo. And if you don't want the hassle of having to add a border manually, have the picture already where you've made it circular, so the picture itself is circular. The best format for photos when you're inserting them into any document is PNG. PNG.
PNG.
PNG. Yep. There's others, there's like JPEG and BMP, but PNG is the best one. Okay.
Mm.
It's the most stable. You can scale it the best. It translates really well, no matter where you open it, wherever you print it. PNG is just better than JPEG and bitmap. Okay. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could even make it into a fun little diamond shape if you felt like it. There's all sorts of things that you can do you know, with the shape of your photo. Hmm. I've seen some where they use like an octagon and it's like a stop, sort of like, hey, stop and look at me. And that was interesting.
Mhm.
Hmm. I saw uh I saw my friend's resume. His name is Sunny. He's Chinese. And his border was literally like a circle and he had little sun rays that came off of his photo. His border was a sun. And I was like,
Oh.
that's interesting. He said he always got a good chuckle, like a laugh from the people that were looking at it. They would see his and they'll go, okay.
Mhm.
But it's only funny because his name is Sunny.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. Questions for me? You have other questions?
No, that's okay.
Yeah?
Mm.
Okay. I think we only had 30-minute classes, right? Is it right? Or were they hour long? I think it was 30 minutes. Yeah. Okay. So next time, I guess I'll give you some vocabulary words that you can use for us to expand on. Think of some other questions you have for me as far as your resume goes. Try making one yourself. Use that link that I gave you as a template and try to copy that style that she has there, but filling in your own information. And then after you've done that, we're also going to work on a format that is like the last one that I showed you. Uh, without the table. Not like this, where it's in list format. So first we'll do one that's just like the way she did it, and we'll do one that's in a different style, because it's good to do 2 or 3 different types, and you can look at them and compare them yourself, but you can also ask other people, which one looks better to you? Which one would you grab first? And the one that most people pick that they would grab first is the style that you should go with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, I apologize that I was late to class today. Thank you for being patient. I really appreciate that. I do apologize.
Mhm.
But I will see you Tuesday again, I
Just
think.
say,
Yes. All right.
okay. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.